looking at the Syma X8 controller, so radio. I've been asked to sort of demonstrate the descent button, which is a modification that I do. If you switch on the controller, I'll just demonstrate the sort of things that you come across. Now, what can happen is pull back on the stick a bit too far and it disarms itself, and then it ends up dropping out of the sky. I've had it happen to me a couple of times in the early days, so I wanted to have a sort of safeguard method. So what I've done is I've converted this button as a descent button. If I get back on the throttle bar again, if I press the 3D button in, you'll see that it just drops one bar. So that is enough to overcome the barometer and bring the aircraft down at a reasonable rate. So it's not so important when you're fairly low to the ground, but when you've got up to a little bit of height and you keep pulling back on the stick, and before you know it, you're at the end of the thing and it's dropping. So by using this method, I just press and hold that and see the aircraft coming down, and then as soon as I've got to a comfortable height, then I can release that and get back onto the throttle. It doesn't override the throttle, so if I press and hold that down, I've still got my throttle control here. It's not influencing anything there. It's only one resistor with a little bit of work inside on the control board to convert it. So basically it's disarming the 3D flip and reconverting it. And I'm using, at the moment, to get me one bar, I'm using a 4K7. So that's a yellow, purple, red resistor bands, and that's enough to drop it one bar. You could use a 3K3 and that will drop you down probably two to 3 bars, and the absolute minimum I would say is going to a 2.2K resistor. That takes you right down, by pressing the button, would take you down to about 2 maybe 3, but it's pretty close to the borderline, I would say. I wouldn't be that comfortable with a 2K2, but it's all up to you and what you're carrying as well. So yeah, we'll have a look inside this, and I'll show you what I've done.